Don't always believe what others say about you. Once, there was a baby eagle that was raised in a chicken coop. She looked nothing like the other chicks and often asked her mother hen why she looked so different from her siblings. The mother hen tried to comfort her by saying, "I'm sorry that you look so different from the other chicks, but that doesn't change the fact that you are still my baby chick." And she believed the hen, thinking that she was just a weird-looking chicken. Every day, around midday, a beautiful eagle would fly in the sky above the coop. All the little chicks would fearfully run to hide, but the strange chick would stay behind, gazing up in admiration. She would whisper to herself, "If only I could be an eagle. But I'm just the strangest little chick." But what she didn't know was that she too was an eagle. She just didn't know it because she believed what others told her. Do you know that what you believe about yourself will determine what you accomplish? The story of David shows that he did not always trust what others said about him. Be careful of others' evaluations. On several occasions, people, including his brother, King Saul and Goliath, told David he could not fight the giant and he was not a good fit. He didn't listen to them. His brother, the first one to look down on David, was his eldest brother, Eliab, whom he probably most admired and looked to for approval. When David showed interest in what was happening and possibly fighting Goliath, Eliab got mad. The Bible says Eliab burned with anger. Eliab questioned the good intentions of David for coming to the battlefield and blamed him for neglecting his job as a shepherd. He accused David of being proud and how wicked David's heart is. No words of affirmation. That must have hurt, especially coming from his own family. The king, the second one to look down on David, was King Saul. When David shared with him that he wanted to fight Goliath, he was probably expecting words of praise, encouragement, and confirmation of rewards. But what he heard was completely different. Saul replied, "You are not able to go against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a young man, and he has been a warrior from his youth." King Saul questioned David's abilities and experiences. He compared him to Goliath and concluded he was just a boy. Had David believed the king, he would have given up right then, taking the road back to Bethlehem, not the battlefield. But he didn't. Have you interacted with someone in authority, like a teacher, a Pathfinder director, or a pastor, who seemed to overlook your potential? Did you persevere in doing what you knew God had chosen you to do? Goliath himself. The third person who made fun of David was Goliath. He laughed when he saw David and took him for a joke. He looked David over and saw that he was little more than a boy, glowing with health and handsome, and he despised him. He made it clear to David that he despised him. "You don't look like a giant fighter, and you are surely not one." But David knew that he was chosen by God and was convinced that God was calling him to do something. How people look at us tells us how much they believe in our capacity. When they ignore us or pay little attention to what we have to say, it tells us that we are not important to them. Do we abandon our good plan when this happens? For David, people's view of him was always secondary. He understood his value and did not decrease that based on someone's inability to see his worth. How do you assess yourself? Sometimes the biggest problem isn't what others say about you. It's what we say about ourselves. Let's look at the two biggest mistakes we often make. Comparing ourselves with others. A lot of times we compare ourselves with others to measure how much better we are or how less talented we are than others. Then we quickly realize that we are all different. When we see that we don't have the same qualities, skills, or talents as others, we believe that we are not gifted. But this is not true. God has given everyone something different, but still valuable. There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. Some are good at singing, others at writing, some at talking, and others at solving math problems. Work together with others, and you can do amazing things. Only thinking about the past. Some people judge what they can do by looking at what they have already done in the past or what they are doing now. When they see their failures, mistakes, low grades, or terrible performances, they conclude that their future cannot be different. But that is not true. The Bible tells us that our future is not doomed because of our past. God has a plan, a good plan for us. He even takes care of our past disappointments. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. The prophet Isaiah describes what has often happened in our personal lives. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. We all go through some hard times and mistakes. Even when we make mistakes or mess up in our past, God gives us a second chance. He said, "They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Our future doesn't have to be a reputation of our past. No one must stay stuck. Change is possible. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. David did not allow human opinions to stop him. He trusted God's calling, power, and care, and stepped forward in faith. He defeated Goliath. Ellen White, God's messenger for our time, wrote, "The Lord is disappointed when his people place a low estimate upon themselves. He desires his chosen heritage to value themselves according to the price he has placed upon them." You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and Jesus paid the highest price, his life, to save you. So next time someone says something hurtful, calls you names, or makes you feel like you're a strange chick, remember, you are an eagle. Soar high.